off baits, we're going brazen.
RZN presents Men Don't Talk podcast, sponsored by Future Men.
Men don't talk, boys don't cry.
So I am, first of all, a human being. If you don't go through the academic path, you're not considered that
Real.
thing. Because where I grew up, all of my black friends had the same thing. So I thought that was just normal. And then my parents split. I don't have that that level of self-alienation from myself where I need to have this mask to replace me.
Men don't talk, boys don't cry.
Boom, greetings. Welcome to the Future Men Don't Talk podcast, where men talk. Imagine that, yeah. And we're here to talk about masculinity, manhood, fatherhood, and the arts today. And all these topics from then till when. Sounds a bit broad and a bit vague, but we're going to get into it. Today's special guest is Daliftkid, a.k.a. Rob. Is that cool?
Rob.
Is that
That's
secret?
fine.
Bruce
That's
Willis?
fine.
Do we don't want to get that information out?
No, Rob is cool.
We know you as Rob, but we know same man as Daliftkid, you know what I mean? Because he
Yeah.
keeps it on the higher heights.
Give thanks. Give thanks.
My name is Jamal, and I am a Future Men father support worker, and I'm here with my colleague.
Elliot, another Future Men Fathers support worker as well.
And a common caveat that we all have, or a commonality we all have, is that we're all actually fathers.
Yes. Father of 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Father of 7.
Father of 5.
There we go. Do you know what I mean? That five-a-side team is strong right now.
Come on.
We've got
Yeah.
subs.
Come on. Come on.
Ready.
So, Rob, tell us a little bit about yourself. Who are you and what do you do?
So I am, first of all, a human being. I'm an artist.
I love you established that. Yeah.
That's the first thing.
First
That's the first
things
thing you
first.
can be, innit, as a human being.
be an
So I'm
alien,
an
yeah.
artist, and I'm an illustrator, which is one and the same thing. And I'm a tattoo artist. So basically, I always say I'm an artist first because it just encompasses all the
everything.
different things that I do. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. When did you first start? When did you recognize you was an artist?
Probably like a couple of months ago. No, really a couple. You know when you go through life and you do something, but it starts off as a hobby and you don't see it as a career. And a lot of us have imposter syndrome, and you walk around feeling like you're living someone else's life or something. It's only when I realised, no, I am an artist. I'm probably the only person that I've known in my family that has survived off of their skill, literally off of their art. So now I'm at a point and I can comfortably say that I'm an artist.
Do you know something? Being an artist and surviving off your art is two different things. And as a fellow artist, I did it for 10 years. It was mad. Do
It's
you know
hard.
what I mean? So
It's very, very hard.
I big up people who kind of,
Absolutely.
you know.
Yeah.
Before, when you wasn't surviving off your art, did you consider yourself as an artist?
No.
Yeah.
No, it was more of a hobbyist. So I've always loved telling stories from when I was a child. I've loved writing stories and then illustrating them. I was lucky enough to have the ability to do both. So from a child, I've always loved just telling stories, but I never really enjoyed the boxes that academia put you in. So I steered away from them. And I always felt like if you don't go through the academic path, you're not considered that
Real.
thing.
Yeah.
You know, holding on to this paper identity. But I think I've gotten to a point now when I realise that I've met people that have been through the academics and it doesn't make a difference. Yeah.
How long have you been an artist? Is it from inception?
I'd say I really started taking it seriously when I was about 15. And I started... I'm an avid Man United fan. I was then, and we were winning stuff back then. So it was very different. It was very easy to be a Man United fan back then, but I was a Man United fan, born into a Man United family, and
That's the
I started drawing the football
mafia.
players.
Man was born into
I was
it.
born into like, my dad was like, "You're not supporting anyone else. This is your team. This is your shirt. Don't try nothing else."
You are Cantona. There you go.
Basically, yeah. Kicking Crystal Palace fans and all that. But I used to draw the players, and that was my first introduction to like form and texture because of the clothes and the structure of the bodies and stuff. I didn't realise what I was doing in terms of breaking down the human form into shapes, into getting it to match the photograph that I was copying. And so that was my first introduction into drawing. And then from there, I just gradually just built up and up and up and up by myself.
Have you had any formal training at all?
I've had formal training. I studied, what did I study? I studied graphic design and I studied fine art MVQ.
Okay.
Yeah. But once I got to art college, I realised that the art industry in all forms is rigged. A lot of the times we feel like we can go in there with our talent and our talent will take us so far. And it's very few people who are actually creative in creative industries. A lot of people are just...
the business people around.
The business people around them, people who are willing to conform to what the business people want.
Men don't talk, boys don't cry.
What? So up until 20, and you're doing all, so you went to college, dropped out, and you turn into the lift kid. What's family life like? What's your background? What is the environment that's incubating you and producing you and helping you to get to this stage, or steering you away from X, Y, and Z?
Yeah. So I think if you're lucky in life, you have what I call a golden period. And like most nations have a golden period. So if you're lucky in life as an individual, you have a golden period. And my golden period was between about 1989 to 1996. And that period...
I think that was a human's golden period.
maybe
Like, the 90s to me is the peak. The peak. I think the 70s is kind of the peak. And I think the 80s, they went a bit, but it's like the splash over.
Yeah, it's like
So
a weird
about
experimental
2002,
era. Yeah.
And it dries up.
Yeah.
At 2001.
Yeah, no, you're right. But it's till about 96, and it was... Everything almost seemed a bit like the Cosby Show. That's the only point of reference that I can have, because it was like both my parents... I was living with both my parents. They were married. They were both working. We had all the things that you have in your house now, dishwasher, microwave. We had that in 1989. So because both my parents were working in good jobs. So it was, my experience was like, oh, this is like the Cosby Show.
This is life.
I thought everybody has, because where I grew up, all of my black friends had the same thing. So I thought that was just normal. And then my parents split. And I didn't realise how close to the line we were living, because obviously... You don't realise that your parents are living check to check to check. You're just enjoying
The benefits of
the
that.
fruits of their labour.
And that kudos
As
to
you
man's
meant.
parents
and big
for
up mum
not
and dad,
making
yeah.
man privy to... Yeah.
Exactly. But when they split, it was like my mum went her way and her check went with her. And so it was just solely my dad's check that we were surviving on. And my dad, he didn't really know how to run a house. It was
family,
my mum
yeah.
that was running the house. So my mum left a lot of things collapse, like the gas bill weren't getting paid, the electric bill weren't getting paid. And then we went to electric key, and it was a choice of... So I had a whole nother experience in the same space. And then the house started falling apart. So the roof started leaking. All the things that my mum would repair and take care of, or just take the money that he's put into the account and organise it, my dad would just be like, "Chat, man, just..."
Yeah, you just pay your bills. Yeah, you pay your bills and stuff.
No, I got real. All of that, yeah. So he just,
I think he's back home.
yeah, just move it to the next period.
2 months. 2 months dry season.
And it was just like a whole... Going from that golden period of like... I remember I call myself a sport kid, even though I know I weren't. I remember my dad coming home every other month being like, "Here's a Game Boy game. Here's a Nintendo game. Here's a this." And that was the norm for me to go, and then to go to... You have a choice between gas and electricity. You have to wrap up in your blanket because it's cold. Or you can't, you can't get your shoes this month. And obviously now my mum's got to pay her own rent, so now there's 2 homes struggling.
Bro, you're highlighting the damage of the broken family. You're not saying that your family is broken, but when the family feuds, no one wins.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean? That's really a great example of how when we work together, there's unity, strength in numbers, and we can knock down any door.
Absolutely.
But divided...
Yeah, it's harder. It's harder because we can't push past our problems. And I mean, my household wasn't perfect. There was, what's the word I'm looking for? Dysfunctionality. But to me at that time, it seemed perfect, you know, because it was like, I was happy, my sister was happy, my mum was happy, we were going on holiday, everything was fun.
Is it just you and your sister as siblings?
Yeah, at the time.
Okay.
Yeah. And then, I can't even remember what the original question was, but I'm just going to...
Yeah, I was just talking about your
roll
experience and what led you to this part.
to this part.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I think, like I said, I've reached about 15 now. In about 1998, there was a period when it was like, okay, So there's no social media. There's no nothing. So it's like, as a child.
Choice FM.
Yeah, Choice FM.
Men don't talk, boys don't cry.
My peers in art or lift engineering, whatever it is I've done. And so I don't have that need to have like a mask. But I also know that I have to have a filter, you know, because when you don't have a mask, more time than not, you're very, very truthful.
Truth's dangerous.
It's just dangerous. I don't know if anyone's seen Encanto, but I love that song, We Don't Talk About Bruno. I'm Bruno in my family.
Okay.
And I'm very happy to be Bruno in my family because it took a while for me to get to that point when it's like, you realize people don't like you being honest.
Yeah, they don't.
They don't like it. They want you to have that mask. But I'm quite lucky in that I've never had that mask. It's like, I got into tattooing and it was like, okay, so pick a style. Japanese, traditional, fine. I don't want to do none of these. They're nice.
You're limiting me.
Yeah, but this is your thing. Like, this is for people who haven't got an imagination. My thing is, whatever comes into my head, I'm going to draw it. Whatever's in front of me, that's a plant and a bottle. I'm going to make it work together. My thing is just creating something. It doesn't have to have a box or a rule or a law or a this or a that. But I know people who also have my way of thinking that have gone into the industries and they've just been almost shoved into this box and they've lost all that creativity and now they've got a mask. So I understand the need in capitalist society to have a mask, but I don't have that that level of self-alienation from myself where I need to have this mask to replace me. And
I think you talking to that old boy when you were 17, just before like your manhood officially started.
Yeah.
Man just bust you out the cage. It was like,
Basically.
if you stuck around, it's like Mr. Anderson.
Yeah.
If I stick around in this, I'm gonna kind of lose my stuff, or I can take the red pill, blue pill.
Yeah.
And I think you just went on your own journey.
It was. Yeah.
Why I've been attracted to your work in particular is I haven't got no tattoos, but I can appreciate creativity. That drives me. It's the fact that your tattoos are black in terms of the when you're doing humans. So that definitely drew me towards, you don't see many black tattoos.
Yeah.
But what I'd want to ask you is, you said you've managed to remain almost true to your inner self and your core foundations and beliefs so that you don't get lost within the source of whatever industry you're flung in, namely the creative industry. How did you develop that sense of rootedness within yourself so that doesn't, you're not swayed and you know what, I'm going to stand firmly on my rock?
Oh, my mum, 100%.
And when I can see you're a Rasta man, and I know that, when did that come into your life, or was it always in your life, and what role did that play?
Oh, so, okay, so for the first question, is 100% my mum. I remember in the 90s going to school, and when we moved, we lived in Turnham in my early years, and then we moved to Brockley Rise. And it was complete turnaround of like experience. Like Turnham is like black. That's what it was.
I lived in Turnham not for a long
And then we moved to Brockley Rise, and it was like there were black people, there were Turkish people, there were Muslim anyway. There were Jewish kids, there were Christian kids, there were English kids, there were working. It's just like this hotbed of like all these different types of people, but it was majority white. And I remember kids pick up what their parents say, or they pick up what someone else's parents has said. And I remember someone had called me an N-word. I didn't know what it meant. And my mum just said to me, listen, you're going to hear this throughout your life, but just remember, no matter what they've got, no matter what they do, you're equal to them. And I think that them words have just stuck with me ever since. So I think that gave me a level of comfort where whoever I'm around, whatever I do, I know that we're all going to drop. I know what our primary purpose is in life. Our primary purpose is just to feed the earth. We give ourselves a secondary purpose in order to move forward. So in them few sentences, my mum gave me this framework of like, no matter what happens, you're you. Like, this is your life. You got to appreciate it. And so my mum definitely is the one who instilled that into me. And she also, in a way, planted the seed of Rastafari, because there was always African ornaments around the house. She always made me do things like summer holidays. I'd be in the house and I hear all my friends outside, and she'd be like, "Until you've written this book report, don't leave the house." And sometimes I have to stay in. And we had these big encyclopedias. Remember the encyclopedia man used to come around to your house?
Man
We had
had them.
big blue knowledge encyclopedias. Mum would be like, "Find a subject." I'm like, "Mum, there's 9 books. Like, each subject is like that. What am I supposed to find a subject?" By the time I come home from work,
You better pick letter Z and find the smallest.
know what I'm saying? So I remember writing, and it had so many things, like Marcus Garvey in there. It had Carter G. Woodson. Had all of these different names. I didn't know who they were. It just had the names in there, and I remember going through these books and reading specifically about Marcus. I remember I did a report on Marcus Garvey. I didn't know what. I just copied everything that was in the book, just straight down onto the paper, and I drew some pictures. That's how I got away with a lot of things.
Man was a Bruce out with a picture.
Yeah, I just drew some pictures, and it looked like, oh, okay, yeah, he's
Presentation of that's an important lesson for life.
Exactly. My mum didn't even bother, but now I'm looking back on it, I think she just wanted to keep me away from the bad youths on the street, from spending time with them.
Making you use this, bro.
Exactly. She outsmarted me, basically, and I think that planted the seed. And I remember Marcus Garvey in specific because he looked like my dad. My dad had the same little square
He's
shape.
from St. Anne's.
No, but that's from Portland. Same little square shape, same little stocky figure.
Yeah.
You know, dark skin, don't really
beady eyes.
smile, beady eyes. Yeah. And that was my first like introduction to like black power and you know, like having a sense of pride. And because I remember when you copy, you have to read before you copy it down. So I remember reading the stuff, but it never really. It was just a seed.
It was in there. It wasn't activated.
It wasn't. It hadn't germinated.
But Mum
yet.
knew she had to get it in there.
Yeah.
By nook or crook.
And she got it in there. And so years later, I'd gone through life and so on and so forth. And then I met my wife, and she said to me, "What do you want for your birthday?" And I was always interested in Rastafari, but I never knew nothing about the culture. I didn't even know there was an actual culture. And I said to her, "Just buy me this book, selected speeches of His Imperial Majesty." And I read maybe the first section is education. And I think I read the first 2 speeches, and that was it. I was like, it was like, you know, when you put a plug into a socket and turn it on, the lights were on, like everything started to make sense. And that was the point when I was like, let me look into the Rastafari culture. And then when I looked into the culture, I was like, this is everything my mum's been saying to me. This is in all the music that I've listened to my whole life. It's been around me all
This
the
culture,
time.
it's a lived thing.
Yeah. I'm not aware of what's been around me, but it's been there all the time. Almost propping me up. It's almost been the very
Hidden in plain sight.
Underpinning.
very tenants that have been propping me up for the way that I've gone. Like, no, you're not meant to tea from that man because I've got to see him again tomorrow. You know, you're not meant to do this or...
Men don't talk, boys don't cry.
When did children come into the picture?
What, is in writing children or writing children's books or just...
No. Your children.
My children.
Yeah.
So my children came into the picture after I dropped out of college in 2002. I think shortly after, I started working, and then shortly after, I think my girlfriend at the time fell pregnant, and I was 20 at the time when she fell pregnant. And I remember thinking, like, I'm a man. You know, I've got a job, I can pay my rent, mum can't tell me nothing no more, I don't live with her no more. You think in your head, I'm a man, and I'm at work, and I'm hanging around with 40-year-olds. So my mindset is not, I'm very rarely around 20-year-olds. It's almost like you go to school, that's the people who influence you. Yeah. So I went to work, and it was just, I think the youngest person I was chilling with was like 30 years old. You never
That's a mad one at work.
Yeah.
You'll pick up some brethren that is random as hell.
Yeah, it's
but
crazy.
you and them is like,
well,
listen,
now there's some people that are like in their, I know people in their 60s now going to
Right,
70s. So I
right,
see
like-
them, yeah, and I can sit and have a conversation. But it's because I was around them from 19 all the way up to 30. That was my model to go off of. And when my son was born, I never forget the day that, like, he came out of the womb and I held him and I thought, what have I done? what have I done? Because you don't think about it. You don't see it.
What have I done?
Yeah, you don't see it. You don't see, like, you don't see the baby. You don't. It's just your girlfriend's just getting
The
bigger
whole
and
9
bigger
months,
and
I'm the
bigger.
man.
Yeah,
I'm the man.
Exactly. And then as soon as the baby's in your house, what have I? I remember I went home. I had a Ray and nephews in the what's the car? I got to look after this youth. How am I going to look after this youth? How am I going to look after this woman in this youth? Like I remember just having a
The
proper
reality
the
dawning.
reality hit me instantly because it was like, and at that time my dad had passed, so I didn't have a
R.I.P.
point of reference from I was 17. So my point of reference was people like my uncle, the guys at work.
Rewind. How did you manage your dad passing? Because it seems to me, from what you said, that's an important something.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
it was a weird time. It was a very weird time because my mum and dad had split up, and I think that devastated my dad. Because my mum was my dad's world, but he didn't know. He had a lot of issues himself.
One more rewind.
Okay.
Because before, when you was mentioning the whole thing about mum, I think we really have to highlight how them value your partner when you're with them and all that they do for
Absolutely.
you. On a day-to-day,
Absolutely.
you get used to it and it's normal.
Yeah.
But oftentimes, it's only when we go our ways do we realise how much of our world is tied up with them.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. My mum was very innovative, and my dad was very insecure. So you got an innovative one on one side, and you got an insecure one on the other side. My mum was a reader at the time. Like we said, very lucky. There was no social media. And my mum now sends me videos, and I'm like, right, you're on social media. What are you doing on there? Come off, pick up a book.
Pick up a book, man.
You know what I'm saying? All the time you told me to pick up a book, you're not picking up no books no more. You're picking up TikTok and all these things, which is fine. You've done
Moving
your
with the
reading.
times,
Yeah,
yeah.
you're from the era of radio, so you've done your reading and you're listening. But my mum was very much on like, okay, we've got one house, we should go and buy another one, another one, another one. So we got kids, we should make sure every child. My mum was on that, but my dad was on, man, we got the house, I'm good, I'm going to go to the pub with my brethren. And I think after a while, my mum's innovation and my dad's insecurity just sat in the middle and parted them. And like I said, when they split, it devastated my dad to the point when it was like, I remember there was periods when I didn't see him for days. And it's not that he wasn't home, it's just
In
that...
his corner.
Yeah, not even in the corner. He would go to the pub, go from work to the pub, stay in the pub. I'd be at home, my sister would be at home, I'd drop asleep, I'd get up, I'd go to school. My dad would be late for work because he's sleeping drunk. And he would just get up and then go to work. And then it got to a point in about 98. And I remember that season. Best.
Men don't talk, boys don't cry.
If someone says something to you, you're ready to respond. So my response is like instant. So I didn't even know that what the man then would say to me at times would like affect me because I was so quick with a response. Or I'd get them back another time. It wouldn't affect me. But when I came out of that space, I got sick. Instantly. I developed Graves' disease.
Okay.
And then I realized...
That's what cartels, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what is it?
It's basically hypothyroidism. So you got like a gland here, and it regulates everything basically. So when it inflates, I think your body starts attacking itself. It sounds worse than it is
Because it's called Graves'
Because it's called
disease.
Graves' disease. When the man's
It's named after the man, innit?
yeah, but when
Everything in European society is named after
But
the
we're
man.
thinking it's putting you in the grave.
yeah, that's, when the man told me, I said, what?
Stop it, disease. Lord God, never kill me.
Exactly. But then I found out my sister's got it as well.
Okay.
Is it hereditary thing? Or
I think it might be. I think I haven't really looked too much into it, but
It's either nature or nurture. It's one or the other.
yeah. And I learned how to deal with that, how to manage it with just food. And I think after that, I slowly started. You're not in that environment where you have to be like, do this and do that, constantly go. You're in an environment that's more to the pace that you're setting. And so I started to heal, and I didn't realize that when you go to work, you get traumatized, and then you go home and they carry that trauma into the yard.
Of course.
Straight into the yard. And I
Give it to the missus, throw it on the kids, splash it on the walls.
yeah, and I specifically remember my uncle saying, when I pull up outside my house, sometimes I have to sit in the car for half hour.
Rising.
Yo, man might have to move out from around here, bruv. The hood's looking a bit crazy still. Men don't talk, boys don't cry. G's don't die, we just multiply. I said men don't talk and boys don't cry. Yo,